Mojito Kilju.
The return.
So we started this about close to 4 weeks ago. It was a 1.124 original gravity, and today we're going to take a reading on it, but it's not done. I'm watching that airlock going. It is absolutely effervescent inside here, as you can see by the inset video. It's just crazy. I want to remove the mint and things like that, but I don't want to do it yet. I'm going to let this go a little bit longer, get more mint flavor out of it. This is just nowhere near done. And I'm aware that Kilju is normally drank quite young. However, well, we're not most people, so I'm not going to do it the way most people do, and you knew that already. But also, it's just not finished. I can't justify racking, bottling, and all that something that's just not done yet.
And this is Kilju Plus.
Oh yeah, this is not your standard everyday bog standard Kilju. Okay, this is fancified, as somebody said. But anyway, let's get to taking a reading of this and find out really where it's at. All right, so as I take the lid off, I can smell the mint very strongly of mint. It's really, really nice. A little bit of that lemony flavor. Did we put lemon in this? We did. A little bit of lemony flavor from the lime. So it's like got that citrusy punch to it. It's actually really nice. I think this is going to be good.
Now I want a mojito.
You can have one when we're done filming. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of carbonation in this. I'm just going to give this a good swirl. This is in no way dangerous to do. I'm degassing it slightly. This will actually help with fermentation because, you know, nobody likes to swim in their own poop.
Now, if he was sloshing it around and getting lots of air in there, that probably wouldn't be such a good idea. But because he's more or less swirling gently,
breaking the cap, basically.
He's not really getting oxygen in there.
But now I want it to stop so I can get a reading. What I mean by nobody likes to swim in their own poop is the waste products of yeast are alcohol and CO2, as well as a lot of other things. But those are the two biggest. And the CO2 and alcohol are actually what inhibits them to continue going. So by getting rid of some of the CO2, we can, energize them a little bit and get them to keep going. Now, I have no idea where this could be. It might be half done, I'm betting, because it's still pretty active. Wow, it's a little surprising. 1.084 after 4 weeks. So it's still going, no worries. And I'm just going to take this. Oh, do we want to taste this yet? No? Okay. And I'm just going to take this and pour it right back in. Why? Because it's been sanitized in
the red bucket of sanitization!
I'm constantly tempted to take a taste of everything that we brew. And I keep wanting to on this one just because it's such a unique beverage. And Derek keeps saying no. And I know why. It's because there's a lot of solids floating in there. It's so not even close to being done yet. So she's right. Okay, that's why we're not taking any. It would be just a waste. Not that taking a taste of anything we make is ever a waste, but you know what I mean. It would actually lower the volume a little bit and all that. So
the taste is coming. Just be patient.
Okay, I'll be patient then. It's not my best quality. So what's going to happen next? We're going to let this go again, probably several more weeks. Then we're going to take another reading when it looks like maybe it's more finished, and we'll continue from there.
We don't anticipate the next reading to be the same as this reading, but you never know.
Yeah. Enough is enough.
It's time to check the Kilju.
Okay, so we looked into this like a month ago. More than a month ago. 5 weeks ago. And it still wasn't done. It was at 1.084. It started out at 1.124. So, today, we're going to take a reading on it. I'm just getting a little frustrated because Kilju is supposed to be like a 2 to 3 week thing, and this is at like 8.5. So that's 2 months. This is 8 weeks right now. It's just far too long, and everybody's getting irritated because they're like, I finished mine already. It's already done. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. Ours isn't done yet. It's still going. So
like if you look at the airlock,
it's still actually producing bubbles.
It's ready to bubble right any second now.
But I stopped swirling it a couple weeks ago, so it cleared out pretty well. It's actually nicely clear.
Yes. Actually, let's take a close-up look at this interior, shall we? Because it looks pretty cool. All right, so you see in the bottom here, it reminds me of like a moon landing or something. We got that fine powder on the bottom with the little craters. You know, Neil Armstrong's going to jump down there any second. And then we get to the top, and we got like the swamp thing up here. He's ready to emerge and steal some maiden to be his playmate.
Sorry, I can't even hold the camera steady when you do that.
And it just bubbled while we were doing this.
See if we can see it. You're
supposed to be done.
You can see it moving though. It's definitely. And it went out of focus. It's definitely still doing something. We're just not sure. So we're going to take a reading today and find out.
So there's some other things that we've discovered in our trail of discovery, and that's these guys.
I'm not even going to say it. Smell that!
That was an interesting face. Oh, yum.
Oh my god! It's mint wine. That's exactly what it is.
It's yum.
That's incredible.
All right, so these are from our citrus tree. I noticed that I'm calling it a citrus tree now rather than what I was calling it before, because each time I would investigate this and look at this further, I'm like, I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. It's not right. So it is our assessment now that we don't actually have a Kaffir lime tree.
Nope.
We believe
I think it's key lime.
we may have a key lime tree.
Which is awesome, because, key lime pie!
Nonetheless.
But that also explains why maybe those leaves weren't so good, because no one actually uses key lime leaves in anything. All right, this has dropped some. Just not a lot. It's at 1.060. That's just weird to me. Why is it doing this to us? I know why. Sugar wine is just not all that nutrient effective, and the mint leaves really didn't add all that much nutrient. A little bit, but not that much. So that's probably why. This is a little bit stuck, but we're going to take a taste of this and see if we like it. All right, so I just want to pour out a little bit of this, and we're going to take a quick taste. I don't want that leaf that's in there, though. Stop. Okay. So it's a little hazy, but I think I might have stirred up some stuff.
Yeah.
But the rest of it looks pretty clear. It should be clear by now. 8 weeks. On the smell, I totally get like the green of the mint as well as the mintiness itself.
Yep.
It doesn't smell like sugar wash, okay? It's actually much superior to that already. And we're not even done with this. Oh, that's actually pretty good. It's already kind of got the mojito sort of flavors. Wow, that's impressive. It's like it knows the lime is coming. There's a little bit of that, though, like almost a bitterness.
I'm all right with that.
Here,
I'm all right with all of this.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to rack this out of here and into a smaller container, right? So we're going to do that right now.
So our smaller container is 3 liter, aka Carlo Rossi wine jug.
They work, and they come with free wine.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying today that they found these really nice bottles at Costco that were like $10.99 for the bottle, and they came with free wine. All right, you guys have seen us rack stuff a zillion times. We're going to rack this. I'm going to stick a siphon in there. We're going to rack it into here. That's it. After racking, we ended up with about 3 liters, which means we lost like 0.750 liters. not that big of a deal. We didn't have it all the way to the top. You know, the mint takes up some space. It's okay. There was not a lot of yeast, though. That was actually a little surprising. Just a thin layer at the bottom. So what I want to do now...
Most of the stuff that's floating around in here is just a little bit of...
broken mint leaves.
Yeah. In hindsight, if we would have pushed the mint to the side and then put the siphon down, that might have been better than just pushing it all down, because it kind of compacted together at the top. But...
there she goes, having to use hindsight.
But it's no big deal because this is all going to settle out anyway, and we're not worried about it.
Yeah, this is just the first first racking of it, so we're going to end up racking it again. Not really a problem, because the next step is to add all the lime. Now, these may look like oranges or sort of like oranges, but they're actually limes. Limes, when they get ripe, turn yellow, especially key limes, apparently. By the way, the reason we thought they were kaffir limes, because that's what our dad told us. And I'm not a Florida boy. I don't know anything about limes.
We were gifted our original lime from my dad, and he said, I think it's a kaffir lime. And so we're like, okay.
And that's what we went with.
It's a kaffir lime.
That was as much question as we gave it. I'm not really blaming him. Don't get me wrong, because, you know, he gave it to us.
Yeah.
And he didn't really know, so it's all good. I'm just taking some of this zest and literally just putting it right into the fermenter. Now, we've learned that the zest of any citrus works so much better than the whole fruit.
And the reason being is that the essential oils are mostly concentrated in the skin. And so if you just zest the outer layer of the skin, then you get those essential oils without getting the pith.
Which is nasty.
The pith is the white part of the rind or the skin, and it tends to be really bitter. But we are also adding the juice, because the juice is going to have the acidic notes that are not in the essential oils in the zest.
The juice may also do something else, because this finished super sweet, very high on the gravity scale. Probably not done, more like stuck. But in this case, I'm going to use that to our advantage. I'm going to add enough acidity here that I may actually really stick this and make sure that it won't re-ferment. And that's kind of a tricky thing to do. It's not necessarily how I intended to go with this, but I'm going to give that a shot. And
there's also another reason why we want to add a good amount of acid to this, and that's if you think about our flavor triangle. Dun, dun, dun. That is the bases and the acids and the tannins. Now, this has pretty much no tannins added to it. The only little bit of tannin would have come from the mint itself. So we want to slant our flavor triangle towards the acid side, and that's why we're trying to make sure we get plenty of the citrus acids added into it now.
What she said. Okay, so I juiced those lemons. I juiced those limes through a strainer because I didn't want the seeds going in. I've heard that they can make things a little bit bitter, and we don't want this to be bitter. So seeds out. And then we have just a little bit of juice. That's like just below half a cup. And I'm going to pour in as much as I can before I overfill this fermenter. Hopefully I planned it right, though. Look at that. Love it when a plan comes together. All right. Lime juice is in there. I'm going to put a stopper in it. Now, these bottles are not the best with the size 6 and 6.5 stoppers that we use for our regular buckets or regular fermenters. So just be careful when you're doing that. And I'm just going to try to stir this up a little bit. It will just get in there by, mixing on its own, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit if I could. And what are we going to do with this now?
We're going to let it sit.
It's probably going to be a few more weeks because, like I said, that was still sort of fermenting. I could see little bubbles coming up. So I think it's still working a little bit, very, very slowly. As to why, I think it's just lack of nutrients. Plain and simple. So, believe it or not, that lime juice might be a little bit of a nutrient for it. Who knows? Maybe it'll actually ferment a little bit more. I don't really know. We're going to let it go, see what happens.
Regardless, we want to let all the flavors that we've now just added meld and combine.
They need to all get to know each other.
For all those particles to settle out and for it to just do its thing.
So, see you in a few weeks. If you like this video, we have about 300 videos on wine, cider, beer, and mead making on our channel.
Thank you for liking and subscribing.
As always, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.